What we're trying to do here is just provide people with a space to express themselves. Because that's what this city needs. Big time. The building is going to get knocked down. I think it's been delayed for 6 months, but it's pretty much been put through. It's pushing people out of spaces. That's the thing that gets me, that I've learned the most from having this business, is how many creative people there are here that don't have any space. I mean, the building being knocked down doesn't actually have anything to do with us, because we just sublet this room, so we have no say over what happens, we have no compensation, we have nothing, And that's the first thing anybody says when they come in, which pisses me off. They go, when are you closing down? When's the building gonna? Not when's your next gig or what's on your menu, It's like fucking dead already. And it's really annoying, because why is everyone concentrating on the negative side of things? Why do they not focus on moving forward?
We died, the darkness away, did not turn away.
What's interesting about Newcastle is it's obviously very much a student city. It's something ridiculous, like 12% of the population are students. Therefore, there's not even a need, there is this idea that you constantly need more student housing and more student digs and student bars and student clubs, and it's getting to the point now where you go to any of these new developments and they're too expensive for most people to afford, and there's not enough people to fill them. There's a load of empty rooms every year, and for whatever reason they have a quota to fill, and they keep filling and building more student housing to the point it is affecting clubs like the Tower.
It's more of a risk, because obviously small venues like the Tower and stuff, which obviously have flats and stuff built near them, they're good for starting artists and stuff like that, because you don't need, if you have a biggish venue and there's not many people there and you get a dead vibe, it means you're kind of off to a bad start. Whereas places like that allow people to kind of get something packed out quite easily and start small and kind of build something up a bit more organically. I think the issue as well is when you pump a lot of effort into specifically studentifying, that's the word I'm going to go with, an area or whatever, culturally it kind of whitewashes it in terms of, because it becomes all about, okay, let's not focus on what, for example, the scene is or what local sort of micro-genres are going on. Let's look more at how can we cater to just a whole load of 18 to 21-year-olds from wherever.
It costs quite a lot to get a license in Newcastle than anywhere, so it can change the way you run your venue to being more money orientated than you might want to be. Probably about 2009 the Coopers got shut down because they built loads of flats next to it and there was noise complaints, so you had this long-standing venue that had parties on for 20-30 years, punk parties in the 80s and 90s. We were doing sound system stuff in the noughties, and then by 2010 it was shut down because they built flats next to it. One of the reasons the council prefers letting the flats get built to defending the venues and cultural establishments is the flats bring in a lot more money in council tax, which they're desperate for these days with the cuts from the Tory government. So they just need as much money as they can get. In some ways, things becoming money orientated really affects how you express yourself creatively, because if you want to perform at gigs, a lot of the time you can pick up gigs playing for free but you can't get paid. So if you want to take a stance where I put so many hours into this that it's not worth me playing without getting payment, you're restricting the amount of gigs you can get. The sort of heavy money orientation and everyone who's performing getting paid a meagre amount is seems to be set quite strong in stone. But obviously there's not infinite money in Newcastle, so you can't just perform at local gigs and make a living off it. It's impossible. What's happening out in the city doesn't affect me creatively, it just affects my performance capabilities. So if there's less gigs on, or I can't get paid for every gig, then I do less gigs. So it can affect me when it's comes to taking my work outside and performing it in public, but as far as actually creating it, nothing that happens in the city can change how I do it, because it's all just laptop and me and microphone. As long as I've got those things, I'm fine. But it's really important to get that music out to the people, so it would be better to see a more culturally based economy for the performance in Newcastle.